I'm going to do this one in English. Welcome that you tune in to the B2B Marketing Forum. It's an initiative by Spot on Vision. My name is Juri van der en de meeste kijken in Nederlands, dus gewoon sluis. But the reason why I'm speaking English is I'm here with one of the top speakers. We had Josh Burnoff from Forceful Research, and right now in the second slot was Mike Volpe from HubSpot. Mike, welcome.
Thanks, very happy to be here.
And I've read the tweets, and people were really impressed by your presentation. But before I ask about what message you've shared, who are you? Who's this American guy standing next to me?
So I'm the VP of Marketing at a company called HubSpot. We're a software company, and we sell marketing software to other businesses. So we have an all-in-one system where it does blogging and social media and email and SEO and landing pages, everything all in one place. And we've grown the business the last 4 years to 4,000 customers now.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, just one more question about your company. I've done a little bit of research, and I've looked at the people that invested, Sequoia and Salesforce.com and Google. You've been awarded as one of the best companies to work for. There's a huge growth. Who are you guys? Why is this growth in your field so huge?
Well, I think there's a bunch of reasons. I think one reason is that there's a big market need in terms of right now, marketing is really transforming, and there's a lot of changes happening in marketing. And I think we're one of the companies on the forefront of providing a software solution that help marketers embrace that change. So as marketing transitions from this older, more outbound marketing to much more of an inbound marketing methodology, using search engines and social media and blogging to attract more customers to your business, I think we're one of the companies that's really latched onto that and helped drive that trend forward. So because of that market growth, I think is a big part of the reason of the growth of the company.
Well, I think if you have 4,000 customers, it's already proven you're on the forefront. Just a little second. Als jullie een vraag hebben voor Mike Volpe, ik heb hier de iPad in mijn handen, hashtag B2B NL, en stel de vraag, dan kan ik deze nu live direct aan Mike stellen. So, apart from what your software does and how great it all is, I mean, we can all take a look. What was the message that you shared with our audience today?
Yeah, so I told the story of how we've marketed and sort of grown the company over the past 4 years, and the primary message, I think, is that you need to really transform and change how you think about marketing. And it's most marketers.
The fruit flies and driving a car.
I know. Well, there are lots of individual analogies. So I think the broad message is that most marketers are renting the capability of building an audience from someone else. So when you take out an advertisement or put ads on Google or something like that, you're paying for someone else's ability to attract an audience. And what you should do as a marketer today is build your own audience. So we've built our own blog, and actually people have contacted us saying, we'd like to advertise on your blog. And it's just so interesting that as a marketer, if you build up this audience and build it up yourself as your own media company, you can actually attract people at a much lower cost than just sort of purchasing advertising yourself. And that's really, I think, the primary message.
Interesting. What I also hear is that you get an exclusive ear, so to speak, and there's no distraction from other companies that want to put in the same message.
Well, and as you know, people tend to block out advertising. They just sort of mentally kind of ignore it. That's why the click-through rate on banner ads and search ads are so low. You want to be the content. You want to be the subject matter that's being discussed. And the right way to do that is to think like more of a media company.
Seth Godin also talked about
permission marketing. Exactly. Yeah. He's really sort of the godfather of a lot of these concepts. He started publishing. I think that book was published in 1999, and it was in many ways ahead of its time because with these new social technologies today,
it's still
more and more marketers, the transition is still happening, absolutely.
I think it's also interesting if you can share something about the way how you've built your marketing team that may not be as conservative or the traditional way of doing it. I thought it was interesting. What can you share?
Yeah, we try to do everything differently, and what we have as the marketing team, not only are the functions that they're fulfilling very different, so that we hire a lot more people that have a journalism background, that have much more of a content production background, that are much more interested in doing video and writing and things like that than traditional marketing activities. But we also have the capability of
sorry, that's right. Hella has a great voice.
Yeah, clearly.
She's one of our news
Is she?
anchor
Okay, excellent.
women.
Yeah.
So,
She's doing a fantastic job moderating and emceeing the event today. Yeah. So anyway, with the team, we have them organized, I would say non-traditionally. Usually marketing teams are organized by the function that you're trying to fulfill. We have them organized by the stage of the sales and marketing funnel. Okay. So we have a top of the funnel team, which is organized around tofu. Yeah. The nickname is tofu, exactly. And that's around the things at the very top of the sales and marketing funnel. How do you drive more traffic? How do you attract more people to your business? Yeah. So they do blogging and other things like that. And then we have a middle of the funnel team, or the MOFU team. Yeah. And their job is to help convert that traffic into leads and sales. They work a lot more with the sales team. They do email nurturing, things like that.
And you are like a marketing scientist. I mean, you were talking about measuring every single thing. Yeah. And on top of that, you also want to know it almost like every day. I mean, that's the thing. How do you absorb all that data, and how important is it to measure every single move in the marketing field?
So I think using metrics is really, really important. Yeah. You can use as many as you can comfortably absorb. We have a very analytical, very data-driven culture, so we tend to use a lot of different metrics. Yeah. I mentioned that the report that we produce at the end of every month is 100 pages long. Wow. But that's internally for us. I think that...
But are you yourself sorry to interrupt, but are you yourself an analytical person?
Yeah, I mean, my MBA is from MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Yeah. I started my career in financial analysis, working in an investment bank. So I come much more from the analytical end of marketing.
So that's the home-based ground for you.
It absolutely is, and I think our whole company has that culture because we're sort of very scientific in our approach to business. But even if you're not looking at hundreds of metrics, you should pick the couple that are most important to you, and then don't check them every quarter. I think that's one of the more important messages, is if you check every quarter, 2 months could go by and you haven't checked your metrics, and you could be way ahead, you could be way behind. It's like driving down the road, you're going 100 kilometers of distance with your eyes closed for the first 75 kilometers. You would never do that. Exactly. You're constantly checking and absorbing and changing and adjusting strategy. So you want to check your metrics every day, and we absolutely do that.
And you change, how you change. So for example, you see something with...
Let's say we're halfway through the month and we're 30% behind our lead goal. Well, we need to change our strategy that week in order to hit the goal for that month. So we'll figure out, can we do some extra activities? Can we run an extra webinar? Do we need to create more blog articles? Things like that. Alternatively, if we're ahead 30%, maybe there's something we're planning on doing this month. Maybe we can push it into next month. Right, maybe we can plan a little bit more for the future. Maybe we can start creating something that we're not going to publish until next month. It helps you build a little bit more of a backlog of content to publish. So it depends where you are compared to the metrics, what you focus on.
So what kind of culture do you need to be able to change pretty much on the spot if you have to?
You definitely need a dynamic culture, and I think that part of the reason why we won that Best Place to Work award and things like that is because we have this dynamic culture. We actually use so there's an agile software development methodology that many new startups are using to build software. We use that same methodology for marketing.
Is that Scrum?
So we actually use Scrum, so Agile, Scrum, similar, So we use that same thing for marketing. So the Tofu team, the MOFU team, they each have their own Scrum teams. They pick their projects, and they change every single month. So they only plan about a month ahead in advance, and even then they're dynamic, and that may even change within the month sometimes. So they try to be relatively easy, relatively, I'd say, fast-paced in the ability to change very quickly.
Nice. I have a few more questions. I don't know how tired you are.
No, I'm.
You're on fire.
We're talking about marketing, which gets me very energized.
Nice, because because you're not only a speaker about how you are using B2B marketing yourself, but you also supply the information. So therefore, it's very interesting. Josh Pernoff, is talking about empowered, maybe people, both on the customer side as well as employee side. And I've seen you sharing how you at least empower some of your people. How are you doing that, and how do you prevent chaos and anarchy?
I'm not sure we prevent chaos and anarchy, but we do our best. I think that one of the fundamental things you need to think about, is really trusting your employees. So our social media policy is 3 words long. It's use common sense. And we hire people.
I don't get it.
Common sense. Where is it? Where is it? Well, sometimes they say common sense isn't so common, right? So sometimes they say that, but I think what we try to do is hire people for the team at HubSpot that are smart and have good common sense, and then we really empower them as much as possible to do as much as possible. So I don't want to be the only spokesperson for the company, and in fact, I'm not. There's lots of people that speak on behalf of the company that go to different conferences and events or write blog articles and things like that.
So
we have 80 people write for our blog. 80 people have written for our blog. And almost every employee has a social media presence of some shape or form.
So are they, for example, it's a very simple example. Can they make a video and upload it without you seeing it or the company?
You could to your personal account, and it could certainly mention the company.
Okay.
If it was going to go to our company account, I'd say somebody would probably look at it, but it would probably be one person. There wouldn't be a committee to convene or things like that. And most likely, we'd look at the video and say, "Yep, it's great," and you get a thumbs up. It wouldn't be like, "Oh, this isn't in keeping with our brands." We don't even really have any brand standards. We just, you try to hire people that make the right decisions.
They make the brand, basically.
That's exactly. The people are the brand in a lot of ways. Yeah.
So. You cannot understand everything today because most of it is in Dutch.
Yes, although I'm learning quickly.
Okay, very nice. But some conversations, speeches were in English. Have you heard or you've spoken with people, what strikes you being here? I mean, the States is maybe ahead in a lot of ways, but were you surprised in any way what you've seen here today?
Yeah, well, I think that the European market and specifically the Netherlands are actually ahead of the States in some ways, especially in terms of mobile.
Really? Could you just repeat that?
In some ways, they're absolutely true. So the Netherlands and especially Europe are definitely ahead of the States in some ways. Mobile adoption and penetration is definitely ahead. I think that there's an extra 10 or 20% penetration in terms of mobile overall, and also with smartphones too, and the use of different applications and things like that. So I think that mobile, we have in some ways, things that we can learn from the European market. That's actually one reason why I love connecting with marketers in different parts of the world, because there's different things that people are better or worse at. I think that, again, the States is probably a little bit ahead in terms of blogging and social media usage for business. But in many ways, I think that what's exciting about that is you get to come here and everyone's really interested in it. And I think in some ways the Netherlands is one of those places within Europe that is on the forefront, because I've been to other parts of Europe, and they tend to be maybe more resistant. I think the Netherlands is relatively progressive in terms of adoption of technology and things like that. And while not every company here at the event is blogging and using social media for their business, they're all here because they're interested in doing it. And I think that's really, really exciting to me.
All right, one more question, and then we can check if, I think this is very relevant for our viewers.
Yes.
We don't have a lot of B2C examples in terms of social media.
B2B examples.
B2B examples,
yes.
Sorry, thank you for correcting. In the world of social media. You have 4,000 customers.
We do.
How many of those customers are using it for B2B purposes?
Probably about 70% or 2/3. Yeah, most of our customers are
B2B.
B2B.
Is B2B.
Yes. And now B2B, the thing is, you're not going to get 4 million views of a video on YouTube.
It's not about numbers.
B2B company. It's not about numbers, it's about focus, right? So when we get 40 or 50,000 views of a video that's made for marketers, that's exciting for us, right? And that's actually, that's a big meaningful number. So there's lots of examples. So I'll give you one example. There's a company called Indium, and they sell solder paste, which is the stuff that you use to glue microchips to a circuit board. Obviously a B2B business.
Focus.
My mom doesn't know what that is. She doesn't buy that. It's not at the grocery store. Like, that's right. They have 9 different blogs. 9 blogs about solder paste. Another example is there's a guy who sells fencing supplies. So the supplies that a construction company would purchase to build fencing for animals and things like that. He's in Western Massachusetts, about a couple hours outside of Boston. It's a 3-generation old family business, so it's over 100 years old. He's the 3rd one in his family to have owned it. He has a blog, and he's put up videos about how to build fences to hold in llamas and goats and things like that, and he's gotten thousands of views of those videos. There's all sorts of interesting examples like that. We have all kinds of different ones.
So in next year we will have plenty of examples with ROI, because right now the business cases and experience is being built.
I think that's true, and I think what's interesting and exciting if you are a B2B company is there's a huge advantage to being the first one in your market to start to do these things. Once there's 10 blogs about solder paste, if you're the 11th one, people are like, okay, I've seen this before, it's okay, another one, exactly. But
so
if
there's
you're
an
the
opportunity.
First one, that's exactly right, and that's why I think it's so important to get started now. In fact, there's a quote from Seth Godin that says, if you wait for the case study in your industry, you'll be too late.
Nice.
Right? So it's like you want to be the case study, you don't want to follow the case study.
You create.
So exactly. So taking all the examples that you see within B2C, apply it to B2B right now, and that's how you get the big advantage.
So you're now here in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
You're going to have some fun tonight?
Yeah, we're going out to dinner and explore the town. I've been here one other time. I had a great time then, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a fun set of people. It's really great to connect with
everyone.
It
was very nice to have you here, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
I will.
There will be other people to interview.
Yes.
I'm glad to have met you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
See you again.
Very nice meeting you.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.